All right, so Asura versus Kratos versus Doom God or Doomslayer. Now some of these will be like very hypothetical, and it just depends on the way you scale those characters. Um, so with Asura, like he has a bunch of low end showing like mountain level, like planet level shit like that. But like where his true scaling comes in is like when he beats basically the god of the verse in so many words, the person who created mantra, and absorbed his daughter's powers. And at that point, he was just throwing galaxies at the man, and like they was fighting. Just going based off raw feats, he should be like high galaxy, well, solar system, high galaxy level, casually, no problem. Um, you can assume he's universal because he was gonna like white like he beat up the dude who was gonna pretty much make a new creation, and maybe uni plus if you like take it to the extreme. But if you like really wank the feet like and just do some head cannony like wank, then you could like probably get him to like a outer versal level if basically the character created the concept of mantra and using Hindu scaling and stuff like that. But at that point, it's really not something that's viable and not a really good argument. Because all of the characters on this list also have that level of wank. Um, so Doomslayer, I should say. Doomslayer's kind of in that weird category where his feats kind of like you kind of have to go into like a little whole door in history, and there might be some like radio I didn't hear, like transmission type thing I didn't hear or read, some message I didn't see, or some guidebook. But from what I'm seeing, you can argue him like baseline automatically being universal, being able to go toe to toe with characters like literally fucking God and other characters like that, like the Titans and things like such. Hell is pretty much bigger than our universe. It's basically a whole nother verse. Um, and since like basically God created that place, you can and he beat God, you can probably argue that he's like multi-uni. But going into other shit like statements and things of the sort, I do believe that there's some statements be like of him being pretty much 4 to 5D. I heard some people argue six. Now I feel like there's an argument to be made for like the outer Doom Slayer or whatever, or basically hell being outer. But I don't think the statements and arguments really hold up enough. Like just off the top of my head, like I couldn't think of it, like what the argument actually was. But I have seen this on like people's channel before trying to claim Hell's outer. I just don't think it holds up. But if you wanted to like really wank the hell out of him, you could also give him that. He's very powerful, can literally fucking feed off like hell energy and shit like that. Doesn't even need his guns or his suit, just can beat your ass casually. So, you know, yeah, at a low end uni, safer ends is like low complex multi to low complex multi. Um, and then you just got like Kratos. Kratos literally basically has a lot of the same shit. Like for instance, like on a low end, you can have him like holding up the cosmos or stopping the hands of somebody who holds up the whole cosmos, which is basically the God of War universe. And you have Kratos, who is pretty much stated the strongest god and beaten Zeus and other characters. Like Zeus' literal father was time and shit, so he's automatically like beyond time, and he also beyond space. He pretty much fought characters who are like massively faster than light. Also fought characters who dead ass would scale above time, so that put him at immeasurable speeds, like no problem. Um, Fought people who can time travel, and he still beating their ass. Pretty much was stated to be the strongest god in the verse, scaling him above characters who are the embodiment of time and space and like all of the shit like darkness and the sun and the season. You see, he pretty much destroys the verse when he goes and bodies all the gods because like their concepts are pretty much not gone. Now, if you argue those characters are dead ass the literal concepts of like space and time and all those arguments, then you could just put Kratos on Outer just like that. And that's not even going into like the later game, where Kratos like kind of flips the multiverse. I know it was on like a machine thing, but it still takes like a lot of fucking strength to do that shit. And I, it's pretty confirmed that God of War, the Greek pantheon, and the fucking other like pantheons, the Norse pantheon, basically have their own timelines and their own verse and shit like that. Their own scaling to with like higher tier concept, like even conceptual feats at a certain point. Um, but like the Outer Kratos arguments are kind of capped, just like how like the other arguments for Outer on this list are capped. So it's safe to put him also at a low multi to low multi, and so he scales around that same level as Doomslayer. If we took like the lowest end feats for like Doomslayer and Kratos, then they're like Uni to Uni plus, and the low end like feats for like at least the low end feats that are like actually viable in this fight. And you can like how you'll still have to take a high end feat for Asura just to keep him in this battle. But going by like their characters and like their power sets and shit, I mean, Asura just kind of loses this like pretty badly. Even if like we like kind of evened out the stats, like it's just he doesn't have enough like hacks to stay in this fight. And that same goes for Doomslayer. It's just his hacks are not there, and Kratos pretty much is the hacks god. Like any form of hack almost that you can think about, Kratos has it in his back pocket. And so I'm gonna give this to Kratos. Second Doomslayer, third Asura. But as I said before, like a lot of these feats are just feats I'm remembering off the top of my head. Some of it's kind of like what if-ish type shit. Like if you took the higher end feats of these characters and you just made them all three of them out reversal, then like Kratos still wins because he out hacks them. So yeah, that's my opinion on it, and that's my story. I'm sticking through it.